Parshas Shelach. This week we know is the parsha of Galus. Okay? We're still waiting for the end of the Galus, even though we're in Eretz Yisrael. Baruch Hashem, we're zocheh to be here. And we're zocheh to many Yeshuot, but we still have missiles and things coming. Parshas Shelach. The end of Parshas Shelach. You have Shabbos. Chilo Shabbos. The story, the tragic story of the Mekoshesh Eitzim. The guy who went ahead and cut wood on Shabbos and was Mechalo Shabbos. Rashi says this parsha is a genai for the Jewish people. It's a shame for the Jewish people. It's a disgrace. Because it was only the second Shabbos, and here he came around and he was Mechalo Shabbos. Question is, if that's the case, then the story of the Meraglim is much after. Remember, we're given the Torah. Shabbos was already in the third month of the first year. And here we're talking about already in the third month of the second year. So why does the Torah write the parsha of the Mekoshesh over here? Should have written it earlier. Also, the Maral says, what do you mean? They kept the first Shabbos and the second Shabbos they didn't keep. Even the first Shabbos. Vayetzu anoshim. People went out, right? Since people went out, so it means that they didn't find anything, but they went out to the fields, so they weren't really being Shomer Shabbos the first Shabbos either. And the third thing is, the Maral points out, Shabbos we were given even before Matan Torah. At Mara, we were already given Shabbos. So we've had Shabbos for a long time, and so this happened later. And how do you know they didn't keep a few Shabbos till then? Could very well they did. It's only once they had the dinim of the Aseret Dibros where they were told about Shabbos. Because the din of Chiyuv Misa, for sure, Mechaleh Mos Yumas is only in the Aseret Dibros. So perhaps we can get an understanding of this parsha from the tefillah that we do Shabbos morning. It's a very interesting tefillah. We say that Yismach Moshe v'matnas Chelko, which seems to have no connection to the tefillah of Shabbos, but then it goes in and says, not going to deal with the first sentence this week, and then it says that Shtei luchot tevi biyado v'chasu behem shmirat Shabbat. Right? It writes in the Aseret Dibros about keeping Shabbos. V'chein kasu b'sarasecha. And it's also written in the Torah. And it goes in, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbos. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbos is a parsha that comes from Parshas Kisisa, not from the Aseret Dibros. If you tell me that Shabbos is written in the Aseret Dibros, so talk to me, quote me the Shabbos from the Aseret Dibros. Why do you quote me the Shabbos from Parshas Kisisa? Mm-hmm. So I think that perhaps the pshat is that the Shabbos of Aseret Dibros does not say as much as the Shabbos of Kisisa. Because in Kisisa we say, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbos, Os hi beini uvein b'nei Yisrael. Right? Dafka, in Kisisa, it talks about the fact that it's a bris and it's an os between Klal Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? That it says in Kisisa. It doesn't say it in the Aseret Dibros. Okay? So there's a special thing said in the parsha of Kisisa that you wouldn't necessarily know from what it says in the Aseret Dibros. It teaches us that Shabbos is something that goes beyond. Beni vein b'nei Yisrael osi li'olam. This is an oath forever that can never be changed, right? This tells us that no matter where we are, Shabbos goes above and beyond the time and the place and situation. Wherever we are, the Torah tells us that Shabbos puts us in a different planet. We can be in the worst tzara. Shabbos me'ein olam haba, as Chazal tell us. Shabbos is a different time frame. Being in Shabbos, you're totally out of everything. That is said in parshas Kisisa. And that's the specialness of Shabbos. But Shabbos itself, right, depends. People can keep it in different ways. You know, in Mara, we weren't given everything about Shabbos. So although there was Shabbos already from Mara, but all the dinim of Shabbos, the Lamites Melachas, all these things, they came later. That's something which is a later stage. And therefore, Mara doesn't count, because that doesn't have the full force of what Shabbos is. The first Shabbos, says the Maral, even though they didn't keep it completely, but they weren't machala. Here, it was a chilul of Shabbos. It broke down the essence of what